Welcome back one last time to the Anorak Entertainment Podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Dom Martino, as always, and we got some stuff to get into. Jose saw Halloween Kills, so we're going to talk about that. I finally got around to seeing No Time to Die. We're going to talk about that, my thoughts and feelings on that. Jose has also seen No Time to Die, so that'll be fun. Jose, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm glad to be here. As Dom just said, I did go watch Halloween Kills, so I'm ready to dive into that and
For sure.
start talking some non-spoiler.
Yeah, so first and foremost, let's, explain to the folks what's going on, why this is the final episode of, the Anorak Entertainment Podcast, and what we're going to be doing in the future moving forward and kind of how we're going to be moving things. So I'll start. So the way I'm looking at this is the way I look at losing Sammy. If you guys watched the Venom 2 spoiler review, you guys will know that we did lose Sammy from the network, and it was a heavy loss. But I called Jose immediately after, and I told him I want to look at this as a rebuilding experience, a chance to move forward in a big way. And the Anorak Entertainment Podcast is a show that I know a lot of people like, and it's something that I got in the groove of doing every week, and it was great for what it was. And the people that I'd brought on board had a very particular set of skills. We're talking Cisco, Sammy, and they have a particular set of skills that I brought them on for, and that they were very good at, and they did their job well and everything that I wanted them to do. But getting to know Jose has been awesome as he sniffs a fart over there. And I think that
It's my diabetes.
oh, fair enough. I love having him on, and he's got a really great personality, really great sense of humor, and I know that together we can build something that is a little bit more of where I wanted this all to go anyway. So I always wanted to evolve this show into something, but frankly, after doing it a certain way, you get comfortable. In a certain space, you tend to get comfortable doing something a certain way after doing something so long. So to me, I have an idea of what I want to do, and I think a lot of you guys are going to be more on board for that as well. And I think Jose fits into the vision of what I want the show to be a lot more. Eventually, what I want to turn it into anyway. So that said, Jose, what do you got? You can add to this, and
No, yeah. So as Dom was saying, the day that Sammy left us, he did call me and explain to me that he does want to rebuild this channel, and the ideas that he's told me on how he wants to rebuild this, I'm 100% on board, and it's exactly what I've been wanting to do with this channel. When he recruited me, made me a regular on this channel, and he's not wrong. I do, my set of skills, no offense to Sammy and Cisco, obviously, is a little different from theirs. What they did with the channel is what will be a little different from what I bring, and I'm super excited to embark on this journey with Dom and the ideas that we have for this channel. I feel like everyone on this channel is gonna appreciate and like a lot more. So I'm super excited.
Yeah, I want to well, let's announce what we're going to be doing first. And I don't have a set amount of day. I don't have like a set day that I want to do this every time yet, and we're still kind of working out the scheduling for this. But I can tell you this: you guys will see it Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. is when the first episode will air, and I'm so excited for this show. It's called Movie Mornings, and this is a little bit more the stuff that I grew up listening to personally. This is the vibe I want to bring to it. I grew up on a lot of morning radio shows listening to that. Not grew up on, but I'm sorry, in my lifetime, probably in my teenage years, I started to discover a lot of morning radio. And that's kind of what I feel like we can bring to this channel, is sort of that morning radio vibe. Now, you guys, for the audio listeners, and I'm very excited about this because I think that this show will work a little bit more for audio listeners than the Anorak Entertainment Podcast. And for people who are fans of the Anorak Entertainment Podcast, don't get me wrong, we're still going to hit on movie news and stuff, but it's going to be stuff that's in my opinion, more relevant to the world and the things that all of you guys are going to care about. And not only that, it's going to be the things that Jose and I care about a lot more. Meaning that we'll just have a better time talking about all of it. And if we're having a better time, I think you guys will have a better time. We're still going to talk movies. It's called Movie Mornings. So don't make any mistake that you're still going to get that. But on the other thing that Jose and I have in common, I was kind of touching on this earlier, is we both have a really great sense of humor, and I think that together, we could talk about things that are unrelated to movies as well, and incorporate our sense of humor into those. And I think it's good. I want a show where you guys can, you'll be driving in the morning to work or wherever you're doing. You could pop on the show and you could listen to us talk about
And just have a good time,
have a
Yeah,
great
just have a
time.
yeah, like you said, our sense of humor is is very funny, and I feel like you can just pop it in the morning wherever it is you're going, just have a good time, have a laugh with us, like if you're there with us, just listening and giving your opinions too, if you want to comment them on the
Yeah.
video, just and we'll have a good time, interacting with you guys, which is what I feel like Dom wants to do more of as well. So
Yeah, well, I think there's something about what I want to do that feels a little bit more free. You know what I mean? And with this show, it feels like we're always kind of sticking to something. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, we've got to hit this topic, hit this topic, hit this topic. We might not hit all the topics of the week that week, but if we're having a good time, I don't think it matters, because all we want to do, if you're like me in the morning when you wake up, I'm horrible in the morning. I'm in a bad mood immediately. If you guys are like me, all you want to do is to have somebody put a smile on your face, and we could be that for you guys. So that's what we want to achieve. That's the reason that we're kind of wrapping up this chapter of Anorak and moving on to the next, and it's been a journey, believe me, but I think that we're finally moving into the thing that I am most excited about, and I hope you guys are too. And I'm asking everybody to just stick with it and tune into movie mornings next Wednesday. You're gonna have a lot of fun, or mooning mornings, whatever I was gonna say there. We might moon the camera. You just don't know. It could happen. So, whatever you guys want there. No, seriously though, I'm asking everybody who's been listening this whole time to stick with us, and I thank you if you do. I thank you for the cooperation to stick with us through this transitional period, that I am ever most excited about. I think I'm more excited about this than anything I've done. And Jose and
and
I,
just share it with your friends, get it out there, spread it out, because I feel like a lot of people out there will enjoy what we're going to do with this movie mornings and everything else that we end up posting on this channel. So just spread it to your friends and
yeah,
just keep spreading it like that, and just get people listening, because I feel like a lot of people are going to enjoy what we bring to movie mornings. So
yeah. And guys, Sammy sends her love, sends her blessing. She wants the audience to know it's nothing to do with you guys. Her leaving, nothing really to do with us either. Everybody's all kosher and good. So we're all good here. But yeah, I mean, so trust me, guys. This is something that Jose and I needed to. This had to happen to make this work. And that's not a bad thing about Jose. That's a good thing about Jose, because when I met Jose, it's like, and I got to know his sensibilities. It was like his sensibilities are kind of like the things that I always wanted anyway. You know what I mean? I always wanted to get somebody in here with his sensibilities anyway, and so that's a compliment to him on that sense. It's not like it's not like, oh well, he's not as movie savvy as say Sammy or Cisco, so we can't expertly talk about the news. But sometimes expertly talking about the news isn't what's most fun. And like, I'm serious when I say it's a compliment to Jose when he's kind of moving in the direction I want it to go anyway, and I'm very excited. I really am. I'm most excited about this show than any of the things we've done. So, I mean, again, guys, thank you for
I mean, yeah,
this journey.
I'm super, I'm honored to that you invited me to be a regular on the show, and I'm honored to embark on this journey with you with this movie Mondays, because I feel like this is what I'm most excited about. Just the two of us, having fun talking about movies and whatever else it is that we want to talk about. Because I mean this in the in the best and most honest way we have a lot in common. I value our friendship so much, and I'm glad that you've brought me here to do this with you.
Yeah.
I'm super excited.
And not a problem, man. And 100%. There's a good reason I did bring you on board, and I knew we can get to this place with you, on it. On the team. I thought that journey would include Sammy and Cisco. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really did, but it's just not gonna happen that way. And
I mean, yeah, same.
it's fine that it's not gonna happen that way. But I knew that you and I brought you on board, and I knew that you and I we're going to be the guys that took this to the next level. And, that's nothing against Sammy and Cisco. I just wanted them to, I just don't know that they saw the direction. You know what I mean? Like, I thought that once you and I took the direction and they saw it, you know what I mean? They would all be on board too. You know what I mean? Again, like with Sammy, like and Cisco, it's not a forever gone thing. And they're going to pop on the show too. Like, trust me, we're gonna have them on movie mornings. It's not like they're never coming back. I'm excited to have them back on movie mornings, and that's something else I'm excited for too. Is who we can all bring into this, and every day we can rotate a third person in and out. It'll probably be Jose and I for the first few, just to get used to the change and the transition. But I'm excited because I want to go full on with this thing. I want to bring guests in and out. All the time. If somebody texts me in the middle of the show, I'm gonna be like, yo, hop on my show right now, and we don't know. It's all gonna be a surprise. That's what I like about this is it's gonna be unpredictable. I like the unpredictable nature of what movie mornings is gonna be, and we can really go in about 1,000 different directions all in one show, and that's what I want to do.
I just also feel that podcasts and just long episodes in general are just meant to have guests, because it kind of gets boring when it kind of just gets boring when it's just the two main people. But when you're always having other people to have their opinions in it as well, it's always a lot more fun because you have more people to talk about what it is you're talking about.
Yeah. I can't remember who said this, but somebody told me once, podcasts are like sex. You can do them by yourself, but it's more fun with somebody else. And I think that's an actual fact. And like, again, like Jose and I are going to get each other through this change, you know what I mean? And like, honestly pull through stronger. And I'm so excited, man. Like, I really am excited to do this with you. And I think that this is going to be the show where we're just going to be, like ourselves the most.
I feel like this is going to be this is going to be the show that takes us to that next level too. We're going to, I can feel that, so many people are going to get, on board with this and want to listen to us, every morning when they wake up, they get their phones out ready, they pop open the show and they just put it on their Bluetooth and they just listen to it, in the mornings, wherever it is that they're going. Even if it's not, even if it's not mornings, if it is a morning, you're going on a road trip somewhere, you're driving for like an hour or two somewhere. Just pop in the movie Monday or movie morning and just listen to it.
Yeah, movie mornings, man. This is where we got to go, and it's like I'm telling you, like I just knew it the second that Sammy left and Cisco left. It was like somebody lit a fire under my ass, and it was like, okay, get this going, go to where you wanted to now, because this is the time, you know what I mean? It's probably the push that I needed to switch gears, you know what I mean? Or kick it into a different gear, so to speak, and I think that this is the way to go, man. And we're going to be holding each other's heads up throughout this, and I think again, it'll be a transition at first, but I think that because Jose and I get on a certain way off the camera, we're going to bring those sensibilities to the camera, and I think that that's going to be what's most fun about it, and I can't wait. And I think that this is going to be the most us that we've ever been able to be on camera. So I like that.
Yeah, for sure.
I like that a lot. I like this idea. And guys, I mean, I'm open to feedback. Let us know what you think. Let us know if there's something you think we should bring to the news show, because now is the time, to give us your creative input. If there were any time, before we make that transition and leave.
So if I've learned anything from watching, because I've been watching YouTube for like 8-9 years now. I've started in like 2012, 2013. Yeah. If I've learned anything from watching these big YouTubers and these people who do podcasts and stuff, if I learned anything from them, is that feedback in the comments always helps. Any positive feedback that you guys want us to bring, or any kind of feedback you guys want to give us for this for this podcast or any other episodes or any other shows that we do, please put them in the comment section, and we'll try our best.
For sure. I think it's important that, you guys are in on the conversation, out there, and, not,
Because that makes it that makes it more interactive between us two and you guys that are subscribed and watching. It helps us interact with you guys and bring what it is you guys want to these episodes and these shows for you guys to enjoy it a little more.
yeah, for sure. And, yeah, like I said, we're Jose and I are kicking it into fifth gear now. And, I mean, I know I've gotten lots of complaints about this show. It's like, there's no updates on it on social media. We're going to update you on social media now. I'm going to make sure that we push for that. And there's going to be more social media activity. And, I thought that was what was going to happen.
I'll definitely put, I'll definitely be pushing it on social media too. You guys,
Yeah.
follow me on my socials, and I'll definitely be posting live updates for you guys, so you guys can know,
Yeah.
everything that's going on, everything that's going down.
Yeah. And, yeah, I just, for me, like, I want this to be a show that you guys subscribe to because you want to, not because we're asking you to. Does that make sense? Like, I think that that's going to be the more,
Yeah, no, 100%.
I want it to be a natural progression for you guys. And I want this to be something that you like the videos, because you're genuinely going to like the videos. You're genuinely going to like the content. We're going to have moments that are hopefully, it's all going to be unpredictable, but hopefully we have moments that are funny enough that I clip them out, put them on the channel, moments that are, just baffling enough. And like,
we can create a like a shorts channel or like a clips channel and just
Yeah.
like post funny moments for people to react to.
that's what I was thinking about too. Yeah. And, on the Venom 2 review, I did tell you guys that we were going to update you about what was going to be going on with the spoiler reviews, because we've been doing spoiler reviews on movie nights. And I have come to a decision on that. All of our spoiler reviews are going to be on another show that Jose and I are creating for the channel called Bro Down, and that's going to be exciting. It's just going to be Jose and I broing down. And the other exciting thing about that show is it's not just going to be spoiler reviews. It's going to be reacting to things, and maybe not like trailer reactions like people traditionally do, but like music reactions. And that's something I've always wanted to bring to the channel too, is music. I think it's a big part of my life on top of movies, and Jose and I are big music fans as well.
Because reacts channels, especially nowadays on YouTube, are getting views. Like people love just watching people react to. We could even do like if we like a certain artist and they drop a new song with a music video, we could like react to that too, and give our opinions on that too, because that's what a lot of people like to watch, is other people reacting to new songs that come out.
Yeah. The other thing that we might do on Bro Down, and it's just, that's the other thing. I like that things are kind of up in the air right now as far as creativity, is if there is a certain piece of something that we feel like we should make a statement on this. You know what I mean? Like, maybe we'll edit together something like that for Bro Down. You know what I mean? Like, if it's something Jose and I are like, we need to talk about this. You know what I mean? Like, we need to make a statement on that. Like, I don't know, like, Timothy Chalamet is going to be Willy Wonka. What do we think of that? Something like that. You know what I mean? If it's something like that comes out, it's like, we need to talk about this. You know what I mean? We might edit together like a 45-minute piece for that. So, that's what I'm excited about for that show. And, yeah, so that's there is going to be more stuff coming, guys, and more news and things like that. But that's what we have for now. And Jose, I'll let you close that part out of the show and say your piece. So.
No, so obviously we lost Sammy and Cisco, but no hard feelings there. We're all still friends, and no discredit to them. But I just feel like you said, it had to happen for us to kick it into fifth gear and bring to the channel what it is exactly that you wanted to bring and what we really wanted to do. And I just feel you guys are gonna like it a lot more, because it's gonna be more of the kind of stuff that you guys will be interested in, and we're gonna have fun and laugh. And so I feel like you guys are gonna have a fun time with it and laugh with us as well. So. Yeah. I'm super excited for this journey and where it takes us. So
yeah. I mean, I want to, sorry, I said I'd let you close this out, but I just remember one more thing I want to add. Before we do move on. I want this channel to really start to become mine and Jose's creative space. And I think that, if so, that means that in my opinion, to what that means to me is that even though we do have shows where we, are very movie focused. I feel like no idea should be off the table from here on out. So if Jose and I come up with something that's like insanely creative together, let's do it. You know what I mean? Let's do it. Let's talk about it. And that's where I'm at with it. And I think Jose agrees full-heartedly, with that. Is like, if we have creative
100%,
ideas,
yeah, 100%.
let's make it happen. Like, let's not let anything hold us back from creating. I think that's an important rule.
This guy, this so this this is a quote that I have held with me since I was young, and I've held it with me now. Is the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Do whatever it is that you want to do. We have a creative thing that we want to like talk about or do for this channel. Let's do it, because if we want to do it, then it's what we want to do. So let's do it.
Yeah, and that's the other exciting thing about Jose is, he and I mean, we are really good about working around each other's schedules. Like, we are really great about that. Like, he and I just sit down and hang out, just on these Zoom meetings a lot, and we make time for it. And that's because we know that each time we hang out, it's a bonding experience, and every little bit's going to help the channel. I mean, that's how I feel anyway. And that I think that, every little thing we can do, and if we're not making that time for one another, like, we're not going to get our creative juices flowing together or come up with ideas. And I feel like a lot of the time, our best ideas have come out of just sitting down and hanging out and brainstorming. You know what I mean? And like,
I was gonna say that, what, because we hang out a lot off camera on Zoom, and we just have a good time. And the fact that we make time for each other to get on the Zoom off camera and just hang out and have a good time. We, like you said, we do get a lot of our creative ideas and stuff for this channel off camera, which really helps, because it also helps us get to know each other a little more and more every time.
Yeah, and again, that is nothing against Sammy and Cisco, because they are on different time zones, and I understand how hard that was, believe me. But Jose and I being on the same time zone helps, and we get to, get together and really just figure it out. Like, because Jose will just message me and be like, hey, we going to meet tonight, or me vice versa, you know what I mean? Or I'll message him. We're going to get together tonight, just hang out and create or come up with ideas or something, that's the thing. We're just constantly doing things together, and I think
that's how Bro Down came. That's how the idea of Bro Down came, is we were just chilling on Zoom, and we're like, all right, you know what? You were like, it would be really cool if we do something called Bro Down, where we just react to like songs or whatever. And we
because we do that all the time.
Give our opinions, exactly.
Right, and we're just constantly. I like that in a creative partnership, is where or in our creative partnership is, you and I just constantly let each other into each other's world a little bit, we constantly are sharing things, together. And I like that. I think that that's what I want to bring to this channel now. And yeah, man, it's exciting. But guys, that's really all for this portion of it. And like I said, thank you for joining us in this final episode of the Anorak Entertainment Podcast. I could not be more excited for what is to come. Like I said, movie mornings next Wednesday. Tune in. It'll be 10 a.m. Eastern. I'm sorry. So 10 a.m. Eastern movie mornings. So make sure you guys tune in, and I'm excited, and you guys are going to it's going to be a morning show, and we're going to try to bring that morning vibe, or the vibe of, two people trying to make you smile in the morning, and hopefully we can do as such. So thank you. And before we get started to the next portion, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave some feedback in the comment section, share this with your friends, hit that bell for notifications. So let's get started talking. I mean, so I went to a concert last Saturday, right? Wasn't that Saturday?
Yep.
And dude, this
Angels and Airways. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, man. And if you guys know me at all, Angels and Airways has been a big part of my life. Just I really like, like, that's one of those bands that, like, I feel like shaped me as a person, like, all you guys can talk shit about that in the comments if you want, but fuck you, because they were amazing live. But seriously, dude, like,
I mean, you introduced me to them, and I enjoy a lot of their music, so
yeah,
I'm thankful for that. So yeah.
So dude, like, I'm telling you, this show was life-changing for me in a way, you know what I mean? Like, I walked out of that concert feeling like more creative in my own life. You know what I mean? Because like I feel like, or feeling like I needed to be more creative, you know, and just excited about like what I can do, you know. Like it's weird, but like there was something in that show, dude, and I don't know if it's because this is the vibe that they're just going for in general, you know, as a band, is like their music is very positive and it's made to bring people together. And there's something at their show that I've been to a lot of concerts, but never felt so spiritually connected to everybody in the room, um than that show, you know what I mean? Like there's something about the music and the vibe that they bring and the energy that you really do feel like very spiritually connected to everybody. And um yeah, so we got really good, I don't want to say seats because it was all standing, but we were standing about 4 rows back from the stage, you know. So one of my
Oh,
idols,
so you were like on the floor area section.
yeah, so one of my idols, Tom DeLonge, is standing 20 feet away from me, you know. And
That's sick.
incredible, dude, it was amazing. And like I really did feel like this was it's for the reasons of this being one of my favorite bands growing up, and this being um you know something that I feel like has shaped me, and something, you know, and how close we were and just how spiritually connected I felt to everybody there. This is my favorite show that I've ever been to, concert musically. I mean,
That's
it's
cool.
it's amazing, dude. And there, guys, I'm telling you, if Angels and Airways ever comes to your town, I mean, go. Go. They this is there's an experience that you'll get out of this band that you won't get anywhere else. And if you guys are like into the sort of like thing that of like, you know, if you guys are into that like sort of like spiritual deal, you know, and you want to feel like positive and just spiritually connected to other people, like I'm telling you, this is the way to go. I mean, this band, like it changed me, dude.
Wait,
This
they're coming. They're coming to Atlanta, by the way.
are they? Get those
Yeah,
tickets.
October 28th, which is in like 16 days.
Holy shit.
No,
If you
six.
can,
Yeah, six. Yeah, well,
if,
less actually. No, sorry. This 10 is, yeah. So like 14 days or something like that.
if you can go, I'm telling you, this, oh my
I might
God.
have to.
Yeah. We showed up an
This
hour early,
this
so that allowed
this
us to get there.
because that's the thing
Good.
too. So I just saw where they're performing, and I'm pretty sure it's the same place where I went to go see Dax
Oh,
live.
nice.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was listening to an interview with them, and you know they were saying like we wanted this, the settings that they were booking, they wanted it to feel intimate. You know what I mean? They wanted to feel like they were going to be very engaging with their crowd, and I'm telling you, their show was unbelievable. The two opening bands were pretty good too. I hadn't heard them before, but I'll shout them out.
Yeah, yeah. It's at no, I was just saying it's at 8 p.m. and for one ticket it's only $64. So
Oh,
my
it's almost worth it, dude. You get a good night of entertainment. I mean, I'll tell you. I mean,
uh,
those two opening bands were phenomenal. The first one was called 1990 Nowhere, and I guess this is their first tour that they've ever done, so that's really cool, and they were good. And the second band was called Bad Sons, so I mean, and they were really good too. A little more popular, I guess. They were kind of like a Maroon 5 type thing, but then dude, Angels and Airwaves came on and brought the house down, and it was unbelievable. Like the light show, just it really has a cinematic feeling to it too, you know what I mean? It has this extremely like cinematic feeling to it, and I'm telling you, dude, it's an experience you want to have. It really is. So if you, anybody out there can book tickets on this tour that they're on currently, I mean, definitely do it. I'm telling you. um
I mean, I guess I can say the best concert I ever went to was in the State Farm Arena. It was Khalid. That was a pretty cool concert. I was floor seats.
nice.
It was standing, so everyone was standing. It was literally just a bunch of people just stood in the floor section. We were like, I want to say like 3 or 4 rows behind the stage where Khalid
Mm,
was. So he was literally like 20 feet from me as well. So it was really cool
nice.
to see that. It was honestly like the coolest concert because I think it was also the closest I've ever been to someone when I've gone to a concert.
Right.
So it was really cool, like a
Yeah.
proper concert. Because I've gone to the New Orleans Jazz Fest like 2 3 years, and those aren't really like concerts. Even though there's artists there, it's not like a proper concert.
Right.
Um, and I've stood like probably like right behind the VIP area. I've stood for like multiple artists, which I mean was still pretty cool. But like that was the first like one of the first proper concerts I went to. It was the coolest one I've been to as well. So it was a really cool experience. I left that concert loving life and because his music is so inspiring and stuff. So it changed me for sure that year as well.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah, I mean that's yeah. There's some shows you go to and you walk out of it feeling changed. You know what I mean? You feel like you just experienced something. This was one of those that I've never experienced anything like it. I really did walk out of there feeling very changed. We showed up an hour early. That's how we were able to get so close. I mean, we did stand in a line for a long time, but it was so worth it. I mean, it really
That's
was.
that's what I did for the Khalid concert too. We stood we my because originally I was gonna take my last ex girlfriend because she's like one of the biggest Khalid fans I know.
Mm.
But she broke up with me like a month or so before the concert, and
Oh no!
I tried to sell the tickets, but I couldn't on the same website that I bought them. So I ended up just taking my sister. So we got there like 45 minutes before I believe. So that's why we were able to get so close to the stage. So
Yeah,
it was worth it.
I took an ex girlfriend to a concert once, and this was like a month before we were breaking up. And like I tell you, like that whole show we argued. Like I'm not
I
kidding.
bet
It
I,
was
I bet I
horrible.
bet that wasn't fun.
Horrible, dude. She was a pain in the ass the whole time. Like I'm being serious. She was a definite pain in the ass the whole time. And I mean I'm serious. So for the people that are like, oh, women are always right and men are wrong, I'm
They're
telling you,
not.
this was on her side. This is her fault. She was a pain in the ass the whole time. She's complaining about everything, like literally everything she was complaining about, and it was awful experience. So I don't recommend doing that if you're in a relationship that's toxic. Don't just cut it off because I'm telling you, that concert was the moment I knew that we were not going to last much longer. Like because it was
that few hours of just arguing is like, yeah, no,
yeah,
this ain't it.
this ain't it. Yeah, that's all it took. Yeah, we were together for like 2.5 years at that point though, so we've been together for a long
Oh
time.
wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought I was gonna marry that one. But didn't happen.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you too. I thought that my most recent ex was gonna be the one because it was the first time I was ever in love. So I like envisioned a future with her. So I thought she
Right.
was gonna be the one, but like 6 7 months into it, she was like, "Nah, this ain't it." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Right. Right. Yeah, exactly.
So,
Let's talk about Halloween. You got to see Halloween Kills today, and
woo!
I'm
Yeah, just came back from the pre. I just came back from this pre-screening, so I'm super excited.
I'm not gonna ask your thoughts yet because I'll tell the audience I was supposed to go tonight. Never got sent the invite for whatever reason. So couldn't get into the screening tonight, but Jose got to go. And I'm excited for him to have been able to do that. And so we're gonna get into his thoughts on Halloween Kills. So here is the review. Jose, talk about it, man. How
I was
was
gonna
the
say
movie?
so a little prefix pre a little bit like backstory before we get into this. I've never seen any of the Halloween films.
Oh, that's right. Let's talk about that too.
Dom was actually the one that we saw the very first Halloween and then Halloween 2018 because none of the other movies are canon.
Yeah.
So we literally in one night watched back to back both Halloween and Halloween 2018. So that was really really cool because I'm not into scary movies at all. But when I watched these two movies, I realized okay, they're not like actual like scary movies where you have like jump scares every like 10 minutes. So I really enjoyed those movies, and I was like, he changed my thoughts on those movies, and I was really excited to go, watch this Halloween Kills. So yeah, just a little backstory. So
Yeah, we had to catch you up beforehand because you had told me you hadn't seen the other two. I was like, "Fuck." Well, if you're, well, my fear was like, what if you're the only one that gets the pass to the screening, right? And like I end up not getting it because you had it at that point, and like because you got yours pretty early. So I was afraid that myself or Adam weren't going to be able to go. So I was like, we better make sure that he knows what he's talking about before he gets on here, you know. So that was my thought. But
right,
anyway, go ahead. What'd you think?
whew, man, where do I start?
All right.
Great film. Honestly, was a lot gorier than 2018. I'll say that.
Okay.
Um,
I'm hearing a lot of that.
um,
Yeah.
it had a lot of claps, during the movie, a lot of nice moment. Well, I guess not nice moments, but really sick moments where
Yeah.
people were like clapping and in the end of the movie there was a standing ovation, which was cool as well because it was a really good film.
Yeah.
This dude ain't human, by the way. I'm just saying that right now. He ain't human. The fact this dude can survive almost anything is insane. So yeah. No, I actually, I enjoyed myself a lot with this movie. I'm glad I went to go watch it. It was a packed pre-screening, by the way. All the seats were filled. Um, so I like sitting in the back of the theater. I got there like 30 minutes before, and I wasn't able to sit in the back, so I had to sit kind of in the front, which
Okay.
I didn't like that much because it wasn't one of those, where
Yeah.
you can like recline all the way back. I had to kind of like look up a little bit to
Yeah.
watch the whole film, so my neck kind of hurts right now. But
Yeah.
it was still amazing. Like I've said, I enjoyed myself with it, and I can't wait for the next one, 2022.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, let's run through this cast though for a second, because for me, the thing that I would want to ask about is, I mean, I'm assuming Jamie Lee Curtis is fantastic in this, as she was in the first one. Yeah.
I mean, she was, but the other thing too is that she wasn't super involved in this movie.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask about that.
And you'll see why.
I was going to ask
obviously when you
about
watch the
that because
film.
based on the trailer, it seems like she's sitting in the hospital the whole time. So I don't know if that's kind of how it is, but
No, yeah, it is.
okay. Yeah. Well, it could be derivative of it, but it could be an homage. Just depending on how they do it. I mean, again, because if you watch the non-canonical Halloween 2, that that movie takes place in the hospital the entire time. So putting her in the hospital could be a tribute to that, or people could look at it and say it's too derivative of it. I don't know. So that could be possible. I know that this is going to basically bring in a squad of people though that are going to go after Michael. I know that's kind of what we're looking at from the plot standpoint, right? Is we're getting a squad of people together.
There's a lot of Tommy and and the mom, Karen and her daughter. There's a lot more of them in this movie, and all the other the babysit the mom. No, who was it? One of the moms who had one of the people babysit. She survived.
Okay.
She was in that a lot too, and a couple other people who were in Halloween. The original are the ones mainly in this new movie.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to ask too about, because I think the last time I personally saw this guy in anything was probably what's the movie? Edward Scissorhands. Anthony Michael Hall is playing Tommy Doyle in this movie. I wanted to ask about him and how is he coming back onto the scene for after years.
Great. He was really good because again he was one of the main people in this film, and he played amazing. He was so good. Honestly, it was great.
Yeah. Let me ask you this without spoiling it, because I want to know in terms of the plot. Does this give any more significant story information that we should look out for? Like something that could be a surprise to some people?
Yes, there's a lot in this film that people should look for, especially going into this next movie that's coming out next year.
Okay. All right, cool. That's we could cut that there, because that's what I wanted to know. Is if there are things that are pushing the story forward, and like information pieces of things that we might not expect coming out of it. So that's cool. Makes me more excited.
Especially the ending. Just the ending is especially it pushes the story for sure.
Seems like people are very divided on the ending. Like one of the things I keep hearing, and I'll just have you confirm or deny this, is that when you get to the end of it, people are saying that it kind of suffers because it's the middle chapter, and you kind of need the last chapter to know how good this one is. Like, we need to know where it goes before we can judge it fully, kind of thing. Is that true? Or
I mean, I can see that a bit. Yeah. I mean, I just didn't see it coming at all.
Okay.
But yeah, no, you're there's some truth, some not. But I mean,
I can tell you're trying to be very careful
so.
right now, so I don't want to take you down that road too much, because I can see there's something here that you're really keeping in, and I can't wait to talk to you about it. I know how this feels.
I'm trying.
I know how this feels. So let's get back into the cast part of it. Judy Greer, like I think you and I both agreed in the first movie, her as Karen, she was very, in the beginning she was annoying a little bit, right? Like she was kind of like, listen to Laurie Strode a little bit more, you know, like she was kind of, but then at the end, they kind of made a twist with her character and she was super badass by the end of the Halloween 2018. Does she carry that kind of toughness and badassery forward in this film, or is there a little bit more?
No.
No, there's pushback.
No,
Okay.
she's basically going back to that Karen side of her.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
no.
That's definitely and I can tell you that's what me and the whole theater were feeling is like, oh my gosh, this again. Why?
Yeah. Well, okay. Let me ask you this.
Oh,
like,
except towards the end, she switches that badassery again.
okay. Well, let me ask you this though, because is there a piece of information that, without spoiling it, I know it's hard, but was there a piece of information that Karen is given that informs her to kind of get set back a little bit? Is there something along those lines? Yeah. Okay.
There
So
is, yeah.
I'm right on the right track, aren't I? Because I have a theory, but I'm not going to say it. Yeah.
You're nailing it, honestly. Like you're getting it all like on the mark, basically.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I do have a theory on this, and like I'm not gonna put it out there in case it is something and you
Right.
get too excited and confirm it. But all right, so the last piece of acting, last acting question or casting question I'll ask is, I think that this is somebody we got to look out for. I was telling you in this, Andy Matichak as Allison, I think is an actress to look out for. I think she's going to have a really wonderful career when all this is said and done, and she'll move forward and do some really great things. Is she great in this as well?
She's the most badass, honestly. She was so good. Her acting, you could just tell from her facial expressions in this movie. You could feel the emotions that she's feeling in the moments, and yeah, she's just incredible. Like
Yeah.
she's got an amazing career ahead of her. She's such
Yeah.
a great actress, honestly.
I felt that in the first one. I think we got a new star on our hands. That
And
somebody
you'll feel it. You'll definitely feel it in this film a lot more, honestly. I think than in the other one, because she's in this one a lot more than in 2018. So
Yeah. Here's another thing too, I guess, not so much a casting thing, but something that I was scared that I would be bothered by, and this is in the trailers, folks, so it's not a spoiler. It does seem that the douchebag guy is coming back into the fold that dumped Allison in the first one. Is this an aspect that you found to be annoying in the movie, or did it serve the story really well?
well,
Without
he
saying,
changed.
yeah.
I was like, he changes in this film for sure.
Okay.
And their relationship's a lot different in this at least from where it ended in 2018 to
Right.
this film. It kind of it switches and the relationship kind of gets better. I'll
Okay.
say.
All right. Again, without giving too much away. I
Right,
mean,
right.
we kind of had a feeling from the trailers that maybe they might try something like that, but I think that, like, without giving too much away, that's a good place to end that. Let's talk about, David Gordon Green. I think phenomenal behind the camera in the first film. Does he carry that
my
forward
goodness.
here? Is there shots that are really creative, and does he get yeah, go ahead.
No, yeah, he carries that and more. Honestly, he killed this movie. He did so well. Some of the shots in this movie are incredible. Everything that he brought to this directing wise to this movie was incredible, and
Yeah.
I can't wait for the next one. Honestly, he's an incredible director. Honestly, and John
Yeah.
Carpenter's score, amazing.
Oh,
Honestly,
very
it's-
present in the
yeah.
movie, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
loved what he did in 2018 as far as the score goes, and I was really hoping we'd have another great soundtrack on our hands here.
100%,
Yeah.
100%.
Awesome. That's all good to hear. So I'll ask you this too, in terms of David Gordon Green as a storyteller as well, not just the director. I mean, does it feel like he has a plan? When you get out of this movie, does it feel like the story has a clear direction that he wants to go? Are you feeling that direction a little bit? Does it feel like he has a clear plan for what's going to happen in the next one?
I do, especially towards the end. I could see where where he wants to go with the next film for sure. I can definitely see, the story's very clear. I've got my ideas already, and I can see. I mean, if he doesn't go this way, I can kind of see already where he wants to take this next one for sure.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to pacing, does it feel like the movie goes like that, or is it a little bit more? Do we kind of slow down in the beginning and then kind of build back into something? I mean, how's it paced a little bit?
Yeah, it is. It's kind of slow in the beginning. Like it could have been paced a little better, but once that kind of beginning goes, the rest of it is paced very well.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you a different way, I guess. Can you knowing that that's the case, like that it slows down, kind of builds into something, and like once it takes off, it takes off. Can you see it without the beginning? Do you think that the opening stuff needs to be there though? Do you think it's significant to the story? All of it.
It's significant in a way, a little bit.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that you could watch the movie without that beginning part. I feel like it needs to be in there. It just could have been, I guess, paced a little better.
Maybe cut down a little bit, and yeah, because I think
Yeah,
this movie has like it's an over 2 hour runtime, I believe. I'm not 100% sure
yeah, I
on
think it
that.
was because yeah, it started at like 7:40, I believe, and ended like 9:50, if I'm not mistaken. So it was like 2 hours and 10, something like that.
All right, yeah, no, fair enough. I think that was what I read as well.
Because it
Yeah,
did, because that's the thing is this movie it wasn't paced badly where I was checking my phone every like 5 minutes
sure,
to see what
sure.
time it was. So it was very well paced. It was just the beginning was like could have been a little better, but the rest of the film
Yeah, certain
greatly paced.
insignificant areas. Another thing I'll ask you too is David Gordon Green really does have great comedic sensibilities. I think he brought a lot of that to the first film as well. Is this film very comedic as well? On top of the horror, it does have a lot of funny areas. Okay, that's
There's
good to know.
there's there's a because it had the theater like me and the whole theater there was parts where it just had us laughing for
Okay,
sure.
yeah, but
So
does it work like to where like it lands, or does it take away from the horror? That's
no, it definitely lands
he
because I
uses it
mean
sparingly and well enough to where it, keeps the movie afloat
because I
and
mean, I was gonna
doesn't.
say because
Yeah,
we weren't laughing the entire time. There,
of course
when it
not.
came,
I would hope not.
when it came, it hit right. So
Yeah.
he definitely used it right.
So is there something to this franchise now that you've seen I guess 3 chapters of this franchise if you include the original? Is there something about the direction that it goes in that feels extremely original to you? Like it does it feel like something that you haven't seen before a little bit? Because one of the complaints, and not mine personally, but I do understand where some people are coming from. Granted, you have not seen the non-canonical Halloween film, so we'll keep that in mind in your answer. But one of the complaints that people had for the first Halloween movie is that it did pay a lot of homage, so to speak, and sometimes felt a little derivative in that way of the non-canonical Halloween films. Even though I think it's a good thing because I thought that 2018 one executed it better than some of those non-canonical Halloween films, the things that they did try to pay homage to. For you, does it feel like this is going in an original direction? I guess is the overall question, or does it feel like it's coming from like an original creative mind?
100% because I've never seen anything like this before. Obviously I've heard of Michael Myers and that he's someone that comes out during Halloween and just like kills a bunch of people. But I had never seen this film before. Never seen like the
All right.
character development, like how he became Michael Myers and all this other stuff. So it's definitely an original idea that I've never seen before, and I'm actually glad that I got to watch this because I enjoyed it a lot, and it was great watching all three of these films.
Yeah. So is Michael Myers still a prick or not?
Prick in what way? What do you mean? Like
Because he still kill people.
like still killing
Still
people?
kill a lot of people.
I
Is the
mean,
body count high?
is that even a question?
Yeah, no,
Like
I'm just fucking with it.
it's
Yeah,
it's
no, I
Michael
mean,
Myers.
listen, man. I mean, like, you are raising my expectations. I guess the last thing I'll actually ask you, and then I'll have you grade the movie, on our might go to forget about it scale. Where do you
You
think
mean
I'll
must go?
do you think I'll
Must you mean
must go
you
to
mean?
forget about it scale? Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Do you think I will like this movie based
Oh,
on my
100%,
okay?
100%. Because like, if you like 2018, then you will. I mean, there might be some parts like in all movies. There's some parts that you might not like. But overall, as a film, if you like 2018, then you'll
Yeah.
definitely enjoy this one.
Yeah. Actually, don't grade it yet. There's one more thing I want to ask.
Okay, go ahead.
Rank the movies, original 2018 to this.
Ooh,
Where do you throw
ooh,
this?
ooh, ooh. I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm definitely putting the original at the very bottom.
Wow.
Um,
Okay. No, it's fair. It's fair.
just I don't know, just because I guess it just comes down to technology and
That's fair.
obviously this came out in '78, so their technology isn't as good as ours, but just the technology that he was able to have nowadays, I feel like he was able to showcase a lot more, basically what he wanted to showcase with the original in these films. So just because I guess that, technology wise, that's probably why I'd put it at the. It's a great film, obviously. No
Right.
no no discredit to it, but I definitely put that one at the bottom.
And then 2018 and this, which one did you like better?
That's what I'm trying to think, because like this one was great, but so was 2018. I'd probably put 2018 at one, and then this one second.
Okay. All right. So it's just would you say it's just like a little less great than the
Yeah, all
2018?
of them,
But,
all
or
of them. Honestly, like they're all. I mean, like they're all just like slightly above each other.
I got you. Okay. No, fair
Because
enough.
they're all just great films. Like
Oh, I
this is
think so.
this
Yeah.
is a great franchise. You want to say? I don't
Yeah.
know. It's
Franchise.
just
Yeah.
a,
Franchise
a
works.
great honestly great franchise. He did amazing with all these films, and I can't wait to see what's to come next. So
All right. Now the hard part. You got to give it a grade.
Um, I mean, I'm definitely gonna say a must go.
Okay.
Like
All right.
if you like this franchise, if you like the original Halloween and in 2018, then you'll definitely enjoy this film, and you should definitely go and watch this. And even if you're, I mean, and if you're not, go ahead and watch Halloween the original and then 2018, and go watch this one, because it's a great franchise, great movies, and you'll definitely enjoy yourself with this movie. So
All right, folks, there you have it. We're going to leave it there for now until we do a spoiler review together on it. I'm going to go try to see it on Thursday night, and we'll see what happens. And then, yeah, I'll probably be watching it with the folks on Friday night at some point. So we'll see what happens again. But thank you, Jose, for going to the movie tonight. And yeah.
of course,
Yeah, so bringing that to us, that's awesome. So yeah, guys, let us know your anticipation level for Halloween in the comments, and let us know if you think this is going to be good. Have you had a chance to go to a press screening? Did you like it? Or let us know. But I'm excited for myself to see it, but mostly you guys, and to hear what you guys think. So should be fun. So yeah, let's move on a little bit. I was gonna tell you. Um, Oh, I was just to tell you, I saw Venom again. The new one. I took Ma to see it today. She loves that first Venom, so I knew she'd like this one. And she did. She did like this. Surprisingly, though, this is the only time I've heard somebody say this. She actually liked the first one more, which I was surprised. Yeah, I thought this one was, even myself, who doesn't really care about any of them. I said this is an improvement, like without a doubt. Like I think
100%,
that was, yeah.
100%.
I was surprised to hear that, but she thought this one went way too over the top with the corniness, and I can't disagree. But I do feel like it had a handle on the corniness. You know what I mean? But that thing, $90 million, man, opening weekend. That's a win for that.
That's ridiculous.
Movie. That's crazy.
That's ridiculous. That's crazy. That's mind blowing, honestly.
Yeah. I'll say this though, upon a second viewing on this one, and this is actually a good thing. My thoughts on it haven't really changed. I feel about the same about it than I did the first time I watched it. I didn't really have any new thoughts to add. But that's a good thing.
I mean, I feel like as I say, I feel like I would, I'd have the same opinions too.
Yeah. Well, that's a good thing for me, because when I saw the first one the second time around, I liked it less. I think I saw the first one like 3 times, and I kept liking it less each time. And so for this one, I still remain the same. So that's good, right? Like it's not going down.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah. Like I said, this is one of those franchises, and granted, $90 million, keep making these damn Venom movies, because that it's just smart business.
They're definitely making a Venom 3. So
yeah, I mean, keep making them. That's not what I'm trying to say here, but like I could give a shit about this franchise anyway. I mean, personally, take them or leave them. But for me, yeah, I don't know. It's just like I could care less. I think the last 30 minutes are awesome of it. I think it's really good. But something else that you and I both saw, which I think we're more on the same page on and more aligned with, in terms of our opinion on, is we saw No Time to Die. I finally got to go out there to see it. Jose saw this over the weekend. I finally got a chance to
Saturday,
see it. Yeah.
Last Saturday.
I had a busy, week last week, so wasn't really able to make it out. So we're gonna bring this to you on the show. We'll give a non-spoiler review of No Time to Die. Let's dive into that. So No Time to Die, directed by who? Can you look that up for me, Jose?
Yeah,
look up the
got you. Yeah.
directors. I can't remember who directs this one. So No Time to Die. It's the latest Bond film, starring Daniel Craig. We'll find out the director here in a second because I can't remember. It's got Daniel.
Carrie Joji Fukunaga.
Yeah, Carrie Joji Fukunaga, who I believe this is their first Bond film. So that's always interesting, to have somebody new on it. It's the 25th Bond movie, and it's Daniel Craig's final film.
Yep, his final one. Yep.
Yeah, and basically, now granted, like I have seen all the Bonds at least one time, but it's not a franchise that like I'm an aficionado on. So take my review for what it is. But I've seen them all at least once, so I can give you that. My favorite Bond's always been Connery. My favorite of the Daniel Craig films has been Casino Royale. My favorite Bond film of all time is Goldfinger, which has Sean Connery in it. My second favorite's probably Dr. No. Casino Royale is really up there, but my thing with Daniel Craig is he's never really hit for me. Like he's never really gotten there. I know a lot of people love him. He's some people's favorite Bond. So take that for what you will, but for me, he's never really gotten there as Bond for me. Casino Royale was the filmmaking, Mads Mikkelsen. There was a lot of things about Casino Royale that really makes that movie outside of Craig. And I like Daniel Craig a lot as an actor. Just as Bond, I've always felt like he's never really gotten there, even though he's a talented dude.
I feel like he hit in this movie different, and it was great.
Well, yeah.
Because I've only seen, I think of Daniel Craig's Bond films, I've only seen Skyfall and Casino Royale, and like you said, he didn't really hit for me in those, not as much, especially in this film. He was amazing in this film.
Honestly. Oh yeah, I think that's I was gonna get to that because I think that he should get nominated for an Oscar for this one. I thought he was that good.
100%. 100%.
This is his best. This is the best performance he's given as Bond. 100%. And he got there 100%. For me. So that's good. And this crawled my way. It crawled its way up to the top of my favorite Daniel Craig Bond. Of my favorite Daniel Craig Bond movies. I think this story is great because so we have Bond who's retired now, which I like kind of how this started because you get a little bit more of a different side of Bond than we've had in the past. He's retired. He's settled down with a woman, and I'll kind of leave it at that. You know what I mean? As far as like where he's at and the plot and all that. But yeah, so it's really good, man. I mean, it's the action is unbelievable. It really is. It's some of the most fun that I've had in a Bond movie so far, for sure. And it's also this is in the trailer, so we can talk about it. But the car scene in Italy was amazing, man. Amazing.
Amazing.
It plays so well in the thing, and I liked kind of the direction of this. I think is what really made it for me is the fact that it's a very different take on Bond. It's very different, and some people might not like that. They might not like some of the, let's say, ballsier decisions of this movie. That could be divisive for some people, but for me, let me tell you, it worked. I think it did what it needed to do to get me to really fall in love with Daniel Craig's Bond. And
the villain, the villain in this movie was incredible.
Rami Malek destroys the villain. Yeah, incredible. Yeah,
hats off.
I think you guys are gonna really like his work. Say it like it is. Call a spade here. It's Academy Award winning Rami Malek playing a villain here. So he's wonderful. He's as wonderful as he should be. Somebody else who I thought just stood out and I think needs credit is Ana de Armas is phenomenal in this movie. I think you guys will really enjoy everything that she's bringing to this. She brings like so much charisma. The chemistry between Ana de Armas, and even though she's like not in it that much, like she has a very limited amount of screen time overall.
Yeah, but their chemistry in that scene
it was good. That scene was so fun to watch.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And like I'm serious, guys. Like this is there's
some comedy relief in that scene as well that I enjoyed so much, man. It was great.
Well, let me bring that up too, because the comedy in this movie is different than a lot of the other Bond comedy. Because the problem with putting a lot of comedy in a Bond movie in the past is it's never worked. It's always come off overly campy, and it's never really worked when you try to put in as much as this one had. This time around, I felt like the comedy was all organic. It worked so well. This is one of the best movies of the year, like hands down. Like this movie
100%.
is so good, man. It's shot well, it's directed well, it's written well. It's peak, man.
And Q in this film was great as well. By the way, he was.
Please look up the name of the actor so we can give him credit because he was really good. And then, the other thing is, people were complaining even before.
I guess what we can say is that just the whole cast honestly was incredible for this film. Honestly, they all did their parts so well.
Well, it's true. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that Ray Fiennes in this movie. He's great.
Ben Whishaw. That's his name.
Yeah, and then who was the girl that took over the 007 man? The African American woman.
Lashana Lynch.
I couldn't remember her name. Lashana Lynch is something that, or her role in this movie is something people were complaining about before they even saw the movie. And I think if you guys see it, you'll understand why she's in there and her significance to it. And I think it's really important to have her there for this franchise to move forward. And it's not what you guys think, but trust me, watch this movie. It's not a woman playing James Bond. That's not what we're doing here. She's got a very different role than that, and she's really good in the movie. Everybody is. The whole damn cast came together in ways that I certainly didn't expect. Who's that?
Yeah, Leah Seydoux. Seydoux, is that her name? She was incredible as well.
Yeah, she was good. You're right. Really good, actually.
Yeah.
Like unbelievably good. She's one of the best Bond girls as far as like the 100%. Story, as far as her story and the way they build it. It's really good shit. And like I think that she got more character development than most Bond girls in most of these. And like it's really really great the way it all works together. And I like that when you're done with this movie, it makes me want to go back and reappraise the first 4 Daniel Craig movies and look at them because you'll see like they all connect in this movie. That was another thing I really, really loved is how all of them connect. By the way, let me point this out too, because a lot of people were complaining about this when they heard it. Didn't think it would fit, but the Billie Eilish song works incredibly well in this movie. Like
I didn't even realize that her song was in there.
Yeah,
I didn't even find out about that until I looked up.
Yeah,
I was on YouTube and I just happened to come across it said Billie Eilish James Bond. I was like, oh, she has a song in there.
Yeah, it's the opening song, and they use the music for that as the score through different moments in the movie, which I really dug, and I thought it fit so well and worked incredibly well. A lot of people were complaining about it, but I think when you see the movie, you'll understand the lyrics of that song a lot more, and it actually really informs the movie a lot better than you might think. This is actually, and then the other thing, without saying too much, I mean, it's one of the most emotional Bond movies too. Like it really feels like a finale,
100%
in a big way, and like
There's just so much emotion in this movie. It was incredible. I felt it all through the entire watch of this movie.
Yeah,
it was incredible.
Yeah, and that it says a lot about a Bond movie when there are so many story points that we can't talk about. You know what I mean? Because like that's the thing, it really is important to the rest of the Bond movies. You know what I mean? Like it has important story points that we can't discuss, and that's very telling of how much it connects. Yeah.
The other two incredible people in this film, well, the little bit that we got of him, Christopher Waltz, the little bit we got of him.
Christoph Waltz was really good in this. Yeah, I thought he was
Waltz, yeah, and
great. Yeah, really great.
And Billy Magnuson as well.
Yeah, this guy keeps popping up everywhere. I think he's really good.
Many Saints in Newark, and now this, like, incredible.
He's honestly got you know what works for him so well is he actually does play really good. Like he plays like really good. I don't want to say too much, but like he has like a hard edge to him, or not. I'm sorry. Yeah, he has kind of a hard edge. Like let's take Many Saints in Newark for example, where he's this mobster guy, right? And he's got this hard edge to him. But he's got this like innocent childlike face, and you don't expect it from him. But then when he pulls it off, he kind of has the same thing going on here. I feel like, and I think you guys will enjoy that. Again, I don't want to say too much because there's big stuff with this character.
He pulled that off so well, and it was he did it so great in this film too, which is I feel like a lot of people enjoy.
For sure, man, and I think he's doing great stuff. Yeah, I can't wait to see what he does with his career. He'll be in a leading role before you know it. I think.
Oh,
I
100%,
think
yeah.
he's kind of got that thing going to where he can do it. And yeah, you're right, man. I mean, this cast was just unbelievable. You know, there are definitely some standouts that are better than other cast members, but everybody plays their part on the
Everyone
same
showed
level.
up. Everyone showed up and did what they needed to do and did
Yeah,
it amazingly. Honestly,
as Sammy would always say, they all understood the assignment, and yeah, they definitely did, and it was really this is a Bond experience in my opinion like no other. You know, they really I'm not trying to overhype it because it's the last one or anything of Craig's, but it really is like they gave like they made sure that Bond 25 was an actual milestone in the Bond
because
series.
Daniel Craig, they were like, all right. So Daniel Craig's like, this is gonna be my last one. All right, cool. I'm gonna show up and show out.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make it my best last film.
well, that was a fear of mine walking into it, is that even though I never thought he got there in any of the other ones, I did not want him to come in here and half-ass it because it was the last one. And that says a lot about an actor, you know, that he's that dedicated, because he could have easily came in there and been like, yeah, I'm over this, you know, and I
Yeah, it's like,
wanted
oh,
to
it's my
go,
last. Oh, it's my last film. Whatever. No,
yeah,
he was
whatever.
like,
I don't
he's
need
like,
this. Yeah.
this is my last film. I'm a bring it.
No, he's
And
going
did he
for
bring
it.
it? And he brung it. He brought it for sure.
He went for it, man, and I think he will get nominated. I really do.
I honestly, dude, I agree with you 100%. I think he will get nominated because his performance throughout this entire film was incredible. Honestly, it was the emotions too that you felt through him as well was incredible throughout this entire film.
yeah, I mean, yeah. Hashtag nominate Daniel Craig.
Hashtag Daniel Craig for nomination.
Yeah, who did the score for this? Because this is one of my favorite scores, I think, in all.
All right,
of
let
them.
me
Yeah,
look this
because
up real quick.
honestly, that's another thing that really heightens this movie. Is the score. I mean, on top of the story, they just work really well together, and the story is very high stakes. Like, if you ask me, the story is incredibly high stakes, and you know, even going just
Oh, it was Hans Zimmer.
oh, fair enough. Okay, makes sense. It sounded
Yeah,
kind of
it
like
does.
him, but
Yeah,
I didn't
it
want to
does.
jump
It
the
makes
gun and
yeah, that
assume.
makes sense. Yeah,
It does make sense because he's one of the best.
another talented composer right there. He's so good.
One of the
man.
best of all time.
His scores are incredible.
Yeah.
Him and John Williams are just they're just great. They're like two best composers right there in the world, honestly.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more, man. I mean, yeah, you're right about that. Right on the money. Yeah, dude. For me, again, like I think the stakes of the movie, like were like they were really high stakes. You know, it was a really high
this. I
stake
mean, yeah,
film.
this being Daniel Craig's last Bond movie. They there was a lot of a lot of people were expecting a lot from this, and they're like, all right, we're gonna have to bring it because this is his last film, and man, did they bring it.
Yeah, stepped up 100%, and yeah, man. I mean, if I'm gonna grade this, like I said, I think you know where it's going because, like we said, one of the best movies of the year. I think Jose, you agree with that.
100%.
I mean, you want to do this together, right? One,
Yeah.
2, 3, must
go.
There we go. All right, so this is a must go for sure,
Honestly,
guys.
you guys need to go watch this film. Honestly, it was incredible. Every single cast member came and shut up. The composer, obviously Hans Zimmer, he killed it. The director, even he for his first Bond film ever, he killed it. Everyone just did so like they showed up and did it. So definitely, you guys need to go watch this film because it's incredible.
Yeah,
honestly, if not one of my favorites, if not my favorite, one of my favorites of the year for sure. This film was incredible.
Very high on my ranking for sure.
Same.
Yeah, a very high must go for me.
Yep. Same. Yeah. Like the very probably even like the very top of must go for me. Honestly, like this film was incredible.
I really almost have no problems with it. I mean, the problems I have honestly, are minuscule,
same.
So
like there wasn't any like pacing issues or anything really to this film. So like honestly, like very 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 minimal problems.
Yeah,
if I even had any, honestly.
Yeah, and I think for the opening, it just goes, man. It's a thrill ride.
I was gonna say there's no pacing issues at all throughout this film. So it greatly paced the whole way through. Honestly, like one of the greatest pacings that I've probably seen in a film this year. For sure.
100%. Amazing that this movie's finally out, man. I mean, this got pushed back however many years because of COVID, and it's great that it came out and it lived up to the hype. That's what I love about it, and it really did its job, and it's great to see it turned out as good as it did, so I'm happy for it, really. And I hope it makes more money, moving forward, because it's only at the 56 million mark. I think it deserves more. It's better than Venom 2. I mean, I'll throw that out there for sure. It's better than Venom 2, folks. So go see this thing.
What's let me see, what's domestic? Yeah, it's still at 56 million domestically.
Yeah. So
It's close to it's close to 300 million globally.
So that's good. That's good. It made some money, so that's good.
Yeah.
But that's Bond for you guys. So yeah, go check this out. No Time to Die. Anyway, comment below what's your anticipation level. You've probably seen it already at this point, so let us know how you guys liked it. And if you haven't, definitely go check it out. We do have a couple like news pieces that did pop up. One thing that I wanted to touch on, and that's kind of what I want to do here. We're going to talk like we would on movie mornings, because let's give people kind of our backdoor pilot for that show, to transition smoother. But because those are things that I think that need to be brought up for sure. Is we got a Scream 5 trailer surprisingly today. I don't know if you'd seen it yet.
What?
Scream 5.
What's that?
Scream, like the franchise Scream.
Oh, Scream 5. They're making another one.
Scream came out today. Trailer was unbelievable. I'm so excited for this. For sure.
I think I've only seen like one or two of those films. I haven't seen all of them.
The first one for me is one of my favorite horror films.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I think it's unbelievable. I mean, the other ones I actually like too. I haven't disliked any of them by any means. I've liked them all to some degree, but not like the first movie. This one looks a little bit more like it's going back to the first movie. I kind of like that. It's going back to the simplicity of the high school students, but all the original cast is coming back, which is really good. And these are the guys, I believe, if you could look it up for me, Jose, I think these are the guys that directed Ready or Not, which was a really phenomenal horror flick. Really enjoyed Ready or Not. If you guys haven't seen that, I thought that was one of the most original horror films out there.
They did do Ready or Not. Yeah.
Okay, what are their names? While I have you there,
Matt Bettinelli, Olpen, and Tyler Gillette.
Okay, thank you. I'll never remember that, but they're really talented filmmakers. For sure, they are very talented. If you haven't seen Ready or Not, it's so good. It's one of the most original.
I haven't seen that film yet.
It's so original and so good, man. I mean, I'm telling you, that movie surprised me. And I hope they bring those sensibilities to Scream. I mean, Scream, it needs some originality for sure. I think that was kind of the problem about the subsequent films after the first one, is the fact that they continuously were doing a little bit of the same and trying to move it forward in a very non-organic way. It's not that I don't like those movies. Again, I think they were all fine in their own right, but I think that it needs freshness. That's a franchise that needs freshness. Like, I maybe like I don't want to say it went as bad as Halloween, but like it's kind of like Halloween in that way, because like Halloween, I think David Gordon Green added the right amount of fresh, and like he kind of brought a new take to the story a little bit, and it was just the perfect amount of being fresh for the franchise. I know you haven't again seen the non-canonical Halloweens, but
no,
so I mean those are really phenomenal movies. Is Scream something that you'd be given a shot to see this new one? Is that something you would catch up on?
Yeah, I'd be down, honestly. Yeah. Like I said, I think I've seen the first two, but I mean, it's been a while, so I'd have to like watch them again. But I'd definitely be down to go and watch the fifth one if I do get a pre-screening.
The brilliant thing about the first Scream movie is that it was a movie that kind of made fun of itself. It kind of knew what it was, and it was very unique for the time, because it was like it made fun of itself, but it was still a very good slasher film. Like it didn't stray away from good filmmaking at the same time.
That's a pretty good cast. I didn't even realize.
What, the first Scream? Yeah. First Scream is Courtney Cox and Nev Campbell and
Courtney Cox and
David Arquette,
Drew
Barrymore, right? Yeah. Well, that was one of the things about the first Scream that that's one of the most memorable things, is that Drew Barrymore all over the marketing. She even got top billing, and that was a big risk on their part because she gets killed in the first 15 minutes. And so like a lot of people were like, let's go see Drew Barrymore's new horror film, and she's dead in the first 15 minutes. And that was like one of the big risks that first Scream made.
They have the guy from 13 Reasons Why is going to be in in the Scream 5.
Yeah, Dylan something, right? Isn't that his name? He was in,
Dylan Minette or whatever.
yeah, he was
his
in the
last name is.
trailer. There was another recognizable face in there too. Jack
Gina
Quaid.
Jack Quaid and Gina Ortega is gonna be in it as well.
I don't know Gina Ortega.
She was in a really famous Disney show called Stuck in the Middle.
Oh, okay.
She was in the the Babysitter 2022.
Okay.
Or 2020, sorry. That was a cool film too. She was in the show You.
Oh, I know of You. I haven't seen it, but I know what that is.
Jane the Virgin, Iron Man 3. She was in a lot, so she's a really good actress. So
cool. Right. Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to if I when I do catch up with these, if I do get a pre-screen, that'd be pretty cool to go watch too.
Yeah, I don't know how many story points are going to be taken from the. I mean, I guess that's one thing that I'll say that's good about the Scream franchise is they actually do all connect. Like each one has kind of been important to the next in a way. They all kind of have their own thing going on, but they've all kind of been important. Like you do need to know what happened before, you know what I mean? It's not one of those things, which I say that as a compliment to it. I think that they've all done a good job at that, and so this one being the fifth one, I hope it stays on that path of them all being kind of important to it, and maybe even using that in a cool way, kind of like No Time to Die did, where it took all the other ones and connected them, and I think that
I mean it's kind of the same here with I'll say with the Halloween films. Like you can't watch Halloween Kills without watching Halloween in 2018 because they connect.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
Yeah, they exactly. Yeah, they've all been I which I expected, from Halloween Kills. I expected to obviously connect to the prior ones. So the prior two canon ones. So yeah, the same thing with Scream. You kind of really do need to stay in it. You have to know your knowledge to appreciate them as much. Really freaking weird. Speaking of things that creep you out, I guess like Scream. Movie has scared the shit out of me as a kid as Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And I'll tell you what, like, dude, the part when he's in the boat, don't make that face. When he's in the boat and he's like doing that shit.
Are you talking about the original or the one with Johnny Depp?
Original, like Gene Wilder's, when he's in the boat and he's like,
okay,
yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
I mean,
didn't scare you as a kid? Oh, don't get me wrong, I don't look at it as like a horror film, but it freaked me out as a kid.
I guess I didn't actually watch it when I was a kid. I probably didn't watch it until I was like in probably like middle school or something.
Oh man, that's like on the checklist of raising your child is like number one.
So, no, that's the thing. Is my parents are Latino. I wasn't raised with.
Oh, okay, that is some white people shit. In your defense,
I was about to say I was raised. I mean, like I've said, I've said, I was raised from basically birth until. Basically, now I was raised with Disney, all the Disney classics. Yeah, I wasn't raised really with any other films but Disney. So all I watched as a kid was all the Disney classics. Like that's literally all I watched, and like a couple of DreamWorks movies like Madagascar and Road to El Dorado, like those kind of films. So I wasn't really raised with any other films but those, and Star Wars obviously as well.
Oh yeah, no.
But yeah.
Well, Star Wars is more important, so that's good. But anyway, but Willy Wonka. Classic, absolute classic. One of my favorites of all time, and not that the movie's really good, not that the movie's a horror film, but I was just saying that it creeped me out, that part where he's, there was parts where he was scared. I
mean, I enjoyed the Johnny Depp one too. I enjoyed that film.
Yeah,
too.
Me too. I think it's underrated. I really do. I think the audience is underrated. The critics.
Freddie Highmore did really good in that film too.
Yeah, he's a good actor. He's a really good child star, and I like the Johnny Depp one.
I mean, he's doing good now too. He's got a show, The Good Doctor, that's on its 5th season. So he's still killing it.
Yeah, man. He was Bates Motel, one of my favorite shows of all time. Freddie Highmore led that show incredibly well, and he gave a performance in that was unbelievable. Really, he played a really good Norman Bates.
That's what I've heard. I haven't seen it still, but I mean that's what I've heard.
But Willy Wonka, or let's say like Charlie and Chocolate Factory, one of the aspects of that movie that I enjoyed is the fact that they gave Willy Wonka some backstory, but apparently that wasn't good enough for Hollywood, because here we are, we're getting this Willy Wonka prequel starring Timothée Chalamet, and the first images did come out today of Chalamet in the Wonka
Wait, we're getting
outfit.
they're making another one.
Chalamet, yep, Timothée Chalamet is going to be playing
What?
Willy Wonka. Let me tell you, man, he looks really good. I'm kind of looking forward to this prequel, and seeing this. I think
2023. Oh,
yeah.
jeez. Okay.
Oh yeah, dude, and we got our first images of
Roman Roman Atkinson's in it. Keegan Michael Key. Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
gonna be
gonna be a hoop.
jeez. Timothy's just so talented, man. He's
Wonderful.
He's gonna have a. I mean, he already has an amazing career, but he's just gonna keep going up from here. I don't know. Like I'm excited for Dune. Dune's gonna be a great film. Zendaya and Timothy, man, and Jason Momoa as well. Actually,
Momoa, Oscar Isaac, Rebecca Ferguson. We can go on all day about the Dune cast.
it's gonna be great cast, by the way. It's gonna be a great film. I'm so excited.
We'll be talking about that cast for years. But I think that I'm excited to see Timothée Chalamet play a Willy Wonka. I mean,
Same.
I think that it
course,
could be cool.
same.
I mean,
Yeah.
listen, man, he's one of the most hireable actors right now, because
100%.
everybody wants him. He's very talented, like extremely talented. I think that I don't blame Hollywood for putting him in movies like this. Some people are like, yeah, another Willy Wonka. It's like, yeah, but when you got Timothée Chalamet leading it, doesn't mean it's going to be a good movie. But I mean, come on, that's got potential.
It's Timothy. It's Timothy fucking Chalamet.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see the complaint here, frankly. And Rowan Atkinson, who's one of my icons, or one of my idols.
Same, yeah.
I love Rowan Atkinson, dude. And Mr. Bean, you kidding me? That was my shit growing up.
Yep.
I loved Mr. Bean.
Keegan Michael Key as well. He's hilarious. Key and Peele is
great. Yeah, phenomenal.
That's my shit, bro. When I was like in middle school and stuff growing up, like I would watch their Comedy Central skits like crazy, bro. Substitute Teacher. Oh my gosh, don't even get me started, man. They're hilarious. Their movie Keanu?
I haven't seen that. I wanted to watch it.
Dude, it's hilarious.
Yeah,
like, it's
yeah. How about Jordan Peele, man? He's created a great career for himself. I love him directing horror films.
He has that he has that show. Was it Twilight? I think it's called.
Oh, he's producing the Twilight Zone now. Yeah, the series. Yeah. And
it's supposed to be like a horror show, I think, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it is. Oh, have you not seen Twilight Zone, like the original?
I'm talking about the one that I don't know if he's already released or not, but he was supposed to do
Yeah, I know. He has. It's on CBS.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. Like that's I've heard is a great show.
Yeah, well, that's why I was asking. Have you seen the original Twilight Zone? Because
I have not. No.
What I've seen of the new one is very in line with that. Like it's very it gives the same vibe. And if you ask me, Jordan Peele's movies, Get Out and Us, the two movies he directed, they're kind of like they
still haven't. I mean, I saw Get Out, but I haven't seen Us yet, because when I saw the trailer, it freaked me the fuck out. So
I think they're both phenomenal. I think they're both phenomenal. I really like seeing what this guy's done. But if you watch, I mean, Get Out to me is kind of like a 2-hour Twilight Zone episode.
I've seen Get Out. That was a really good film. But Us, I just refuse to watch, because it's like, just from the trailer alone, it freaks me the fuck out. So I refuse to watch it.
Fair enough. I'll say this: it is really well made, and it has great performances. But it's phenomenal. I love that movie. Some people I know didn't really like Us, but I loved it. I thought it was really on par with Get Out. I think Get Out might be a little better, but.
The audience didn't enjoy that one too much. They got a 59%.
Yeah, the audiences didn't like it. I loved it. I think.
But Get Out did amazing. Got 98% Rotten Tomato and 86 audience.
Yeah, I think they're both really fantastic. Yeah, they're both good. But yeah, he kind of makes
didn't the main actor in Get Out win like an Oscar or something?
I think it was nominated
or get nominated. Yeah.
Oh, he won an Oscar last year. He won for his first one for Judas and the Black Messiah, which he was really fantastic in. He won.
I heard those. I heard that was really good.
Really good. It's on HBO Max, I think. Really good movie, for sure. Yeah, it's that was a hard movie to watch though. It's very rough. There's like a lot of
Like as in like
no,
emotional or like
yeah, kind of like a reality check a little bit, you know, and just something that like
I
because
see.
well you know, like I don't know about your generation, but I know like my generation, the way we were kind of raised. There's been a couple movies about this recently that have, you know, portrayed it really well. But like when I was growing up, I was learning
We're not. I
about.
mean, we're. I mean, we're not. We're. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure we're in the same generation. It's just. It also just depends on probably like
Yeah,
who
but I mean, I
the kind of parents we were raised with. You know.
granted, yeah. I mean, you know, for me, a lot of people in my age group, I should say, mainly, have come up and maybe even you, maybe because Sammy agreed with me here. We kind of came up of learning about the Black Panthers as like this terrorist organization, and like I don't know if that was the thing with you. But if you watch Judas and the Black Messiah, dude, like it changes your perspective on it, you know, because you see it from their angle, and it changes the perspective, and it's really hard to watch in terms of like, you know, the way it depicts, you know, racism of the time, and kind of relating it to nowadays, and like the fact that we honestly like we're kind of in a similar spot again. I feel like when it comes to racism, a little bit. You know, not exactly the same, but and we've definitely made some progress. But there's progress that still needs to be made. And
Hmm.
this movie, to me, it was unsettling to watch. You know, because you see a lot of the African American community being mistreated. You know, and that's hard to watch anytime. You know, but this movie did a great job portraying that even further, you know, than a lot of other movies have, I think. So I think it's an important movie to watch. It's just not one I'm going to revisit a lot. It has nothing to do with the quality of the film. It's just more or less because of the unsettling nature
I
of
mean,
it.
that's. I guess that's me with the Passion of Christ, that Mel
Yeah.
Gibson film.
Oh, agreed.
That one's hard. That one's hard to watch too. Like
Yeah.
I think I've only seen it like 2 or 3 times in my life, and
Yeah.
one of them was in religion class in high school. They were like, "All right, we're gonna watch this film. If you're uneasy, like if you like pass out or throw up at the sight of blood, just leave, and we'll let you know when you can come back in." But that's definitely a hard film to watch, just because
Talk
the goriness and the stuff that happens in that film.
talk about an extremely underrated movie, by the way, Passion of the Christ.
Oh,
Because
100%. Mel Gibson killed it.
I can honestly I can watch that more. I understand the unsettling nature, so it's not one I revisit a lot, but I can watch that more just because I feel like of the Mel Gibson's directing is just something to watch. You know what I mean? Like it's there's
It
something
is incredible, yeah.
there's something about the filmmaking that almost makes that movie a little bit more rewatchable than Judas and the Black Messiah. Again, that's not an insult to Judas and the Black Messiah. It's just Judas and the Black Messiah is very straightforward. You know, the way it's told is very straightforward. It's not a movie that's like being done for the filmmaking necessarily, even though it's good filmmaking. It's just very straightforward. Mel Gibson has this way of bringing so much life into his movies, though. You know, it's this whole extra element that Gibson brings, which again, not an insult to Judas, just more or less like a thing to note that like, you know, Mel Gibson is one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. Like, and not every movie maker is going to get on his level. It's just not going to happen. It's a very hard thing to do. You know, so like he's really, I mean, Braveheart is one of my favorite movies of all time. That to me, like
Oh
that,
my gosh, I love that movie.
it's one of the best of all time.
He killed that too. His acting in that film was incredible. He
Yeah,
killed it.
the fact that he directed it and starred in it is very amazing, and it's such a big project. You know what I mean? It's done on such a grand scale that I don't know that that could be touched. So yeah, like I love Braveheart, dude. That movie I could watch so many times. The fucking the battle scenes, man, are just unbelievably cool. You know, like it really has some of the best battle sequences of any movie to date. Like, and that includes Lord of the Rings, even though those are great. You know, the battle sequences of Braveheart, like untouchable. You know,
Yeah.
they really are. They're so good, man. Um, yeah, and just like the way yeah, you're right. The way he plays William Wallace, man, it's like he makes that guy so likable. You know, he brings such a charisma to that
Mhm.
character,
Yeah.
makes him so
Yeah.
likable, and you love following him. And the ending is just so tragic, man. When you see what happens to him at the end, it's so
Oof.
tragic. Yeah.
Oof, yeah,
Ooh, man, and like,
100%.
but it's like it's an important piece of history. You know what I mean? It definitely
It
is.
makes me like it makes me cry every time I watch it, man.
Yeah.
It's so tragic, but the message that he leaves behind is so it's so nice. Like it's awesome.
Yeah, me too. I agree, man. He kind of does that in all his movies when he directs them. Like he always wants you to leave with something. You know, that's like powerful. Hacksaw Ridge is the other example. Have you seen Hacksaw Ridge? Because that movie
I
fucked
I
me
have
up.
actually. I have,
Oh,
yeah.
that fucked me up too, dude. Come
Same.
on, like yeah, that ending, dude. I cried, man. I cried at that ending.
Same.
That was one of those that was hard. Yeah, Garfield did an amazing job, by the way, in that movie, and
Yeah.
I'll never forget. It's not his fault, but I'll never forget the fact that Casey Affleck won Best Actor that year over Andrew Garfield for Manchester by the Sea. I liked Manchester by the Sea a great deal, but the fact that Casey Affleck won over Andrew Garfield in that movie, like, come on, man, that was like, that's one of those things where it's like, you know, somebody got snubbed, if you ask me. And I thought Casey Affleck was great in Manchester by the Sea. I'm not saying that, but could pit it up against what Andrew Garfield did and Hacksaw Ridge. It's there's almost there's no comparison. You know, there's no competition, if you ask
Yeah,
me.
true.
I think Garfield is like, he's one of those actors, man, that I love to watch work. You know, like you criticize the
That's probably
Spider-Man all
that
you
was
want,
probably
but
my I was about to say that was my probably my favorite film by him. Like, cause
I
I
think
did
it's
not
his
like
best
him in the
performance.
Spider-Man films.
Yeah.
I didn't like him in the Spider-Man films, but his performance in Hacksaw was definitely his best one for sure.
Yeah, definitely mine too. I agree with you. I think Hacksaw was definitely his best. Social Network is up there. I mean, he was really great in Social Network. As
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that one, but
You never seen Social Network?
I don't think so. No.
Holy shit, man! You're of like that. You're in the age group of the digital age too, man. You got to see Social Network. Just being
I
in
have
that age
tons
group.
of social networks.
I've seen Social Networks. God damn it, I got them on my phone. No, but yeah, man, I'm telling you, man, Social Network is incredible. That's one of the best. It's a
Oh, and
you,
Jess it's got Jesse Eisenberg in it too, and
he's
Justin
incredible.
Timberlake. Oh my god, Justin Timberlake.
The whole
That's funny.
cast is really good in it.
I mean, geez, 96 Rotten Tomato and 86 audience score. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I think it has like gone down in history as one of the best of all time. I mean, really, it's that damn good. I
no, I
mean,
can watch it. I can watch it on Amazon Prime.
oh,
It's
there you
free on
go.
Amazon Prime.
Great, wonderful. Yeah, definitely check it out, dude. I'm telling you, that's one of those that you got to see. I love the Social Network so much. I haven't seen it in a long time, granted, but the Andrew Garfield's performance in that is very memorable. I'll say that. Like, a lot of people quote his sort of, he has this really great moment toward the end, and a lot of people quote it, like, because it's that good. It's very powerful performance, he goes, in that movie. But yeah, it's awesome. Do you know the premise of it, where it's like because Jesse Eisenberg is Mark Zuckerberg,
Never heard.
and
So it's
yeah,
about Facebook.
it's about creating
Uh,
Facebook, how Facebook came to be.
uh,
And it goes through, so you follow two different timelines. Actually, you follow two different lawsuits throughout it. So, or three different timelines, really, because so you got one timeline that's like the creation of Facebook, and then you have this other timeline where he's in one lawsuit for the creation of Facebook, Zuckerberg. And then you're following a third timeline where he's in a third lawsuit that when the movie was being made, the lawsuit hadn't been settled yet. But they tell what had been done, like the progress that had been made in it. They show all that. The progress that had been made throughout the movie. But the way that the three like sort of timelines of Zuckerberg's life are kind of cut together in it is really what makes it. And like the script is really
so
good.
that's so because that whole thing about three different timelines reminds me of this show on Hulu I just watched called so this is this is the summer or summer's something like that. It's a show with Olivia Holt,
Okay.
um, which was really good. It's on Netflix and it basically um it goes through three different I think it's 20 no it's like they go through three different years, three different
Mm-hmm.
times,
Yeah.
and they tell in each episode they tell stories from each individual year.
Mm.
and piece them together, which is really great. I really Cruel Summer. That
Cruel Summer.
show's
I've heard
called.
about that. Yeah, I've heard about it.
Yeah.
I haven't watched
So
it
that's
though.
the one. It's stories in from 3 different years that they all tell in each episode and like gel it together, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Because you go from like the oldest year and then go to like the newest one, and it's kind of just like all three different kind of like mixed around too. It's not all just like the oldest newest. It's like mixed up, so it's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's
No, I agree. Um, well, I like that idea. Like, or I like when things do that well. You know what I mean? Like when they can,
That was
like,
because that was a great. That's I like the directing in that show, and the way that they did that show was really. I enjoyed that show a lot. It was and this is only the first season. It came out this year too.
yeah,
93 Rotten Tomato score. So I mean it
nice,
did, and 74 audience. So
nice.
it's a liked show, and I like it a lot too.
Yeah.
And people should really watch this one because it's a really good one.
That's got to be, I think, in my opinion, that's got to be like one of the hardest things to do as a filmmaker. Like, especially like imagine like the pitch meeting for something, right? Like you're going to pitch a movie to a studio, and you say, "Yeah, I'm gonna tell this story." Like let's take Social Network for example. I can only imagine that the pitch was want to tell the story of Mark Zuckerberg and how Facebook was created, or not even that. Just like we want to tell the story about Mark Zuckerberg, right? Studio would ask, right? Like what part of his life do you want to tell? And then you go from there. You go from that over to the David Fincher, who directed it, was probably like, oh, I want to do all three or three different years of his life. You know what I mean? But like I want it to be like all done simultaneously in one big thing. The studio's going to look at you like you're insane. You know what I mean? Like so like, because it's a lot to pack into one movie or one TV show. Even obviously you have a little bit more time with the TV show, but like like to try to do something like that, it's a lot. And so like when you could do it successfully and you do it well, and like people like it, it's like it's not hard to achieve. You know what I mean? Or it's not easy to achieve. To try to cut all that together
Right.
and make it seem so smooth, you know what I mean, and seamless, and like that can't be easy. I wouldn't imagine, you know what I mean. So like I respect that. I commend
Yeah.
it when I see stuff like that that's done really well, cut together well. It can't be easy, man. I can't be. It's got to be one of the hardest things to do, is to try to pull that off.
I'm trying to find who directed this show so I can shout them out because
Mm.
they did very well. But yeah, because this show is also based. It's about this girl who gets well, she gets kidnapped in a way, and gets like domestically abused
Mm.
by a teacher from her school, and it's just basically the 3 different years talking about. So it's basically past event, present, and future.
Mhm.
What happens in everyone's lives when
Mm.
when that takes place and stuff. So it's great. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to check it out for sure. Yeah. We're getting close to our time here, but before we ended, because this is the last episode of Anorak Entertainment, I mean, I just wanted to throw out there kind of the story of how this all kind of came to be, and everything, and this is just to pay homage to where we've been in this channel and everything, and like how where we've gone. And I mean, so to start with, I mean, for the audiences that have been with us since that time, I mean, this channel started, and Jose, I don't even know if you know the full history of this channel, but for the audience members, I mean, this really started with myself, Jareth Love, and Blake Ross all created Anoraks on Air. Was the first thing we ever did on this channel, and we'd all get together and just talk shit about movies and stuff. And if you go back and watch those, I mean, you're gonna see the very low quality of it. And
I mean, I saw you started this channel in 2018, I think it was.
yeah, so that was a while ago, man. And the low quality of those videos, man, it's really astounding.
I was in college at that time too, so
Yeah. Well, to give you some backstory too, I mean, a lot of this, I mean, not backstory, but pretext. everything we do now is ran on OBS, which is a program a lot of people use to run their shows and stuff. But we do everything on the program
I mean,
OBS.
that's a streaming platform that YouTubers and people use to stream. Like people stream on YouTube or on Twitch. That's what they use to stream.
It's pretty much the go-to anymore. And I remember when we started this, I had no idea how to run this stuff, the way I do now. And it was Blake Ross who was running, the OBS. And that was kind of the idea is Jareth and I wanted to start a podcast, and we met Blake. And, Blake told us he knew how to run all this stuff. And so we started it out, or he had at least a basic understanding of how to run it. And so that's how we kind of started it out. And I bought some mics, and we used to do this out of the back of a comic book shop back in the day. I wish I knew the technology the way I do now back then, but here we are. It's cool. We can do this out of our bedrooms, for crying out loud, these days. And that's really fascinating to me. But Jareth got sick, and it was me and Blake, and then Blake and I just kind of fell off. We kind of went down separate paths, and I didn't know if I wanted to do this anymore. Honestly, like I genuinely just didn't know if I wanted to do it anymore. But one thing I did keep doing is I kept putting up reviews for movies, throughout that time, and I made sure that I did solo reviews, and so I kept going with that. And back then it was just reviews by Dom. I would do reviews on and I would just call it reviews by Dom. Yeah,
I think we reacted to a couple of those.
I think we have reacted to a couple, maybe like the Phantom Menace one or something, and
yeah,
that's what I called it. And so those would go up on the channel. I remember those were the days, man. I mean, I got my first press screening. I remember it was Dunkirk, and that was like the most exciting thing in the world at the time. So I can only imagine what you're going through right now, Jose, getting these, because
honestly, well, yeah. So I'm glad that you decided to continue with this, and that because I wouldn't have been given this opportunity otherwise, and I'm glad that you've brought me to this channel just so I can show you give out what I want to do, which is now that I've met you and I'm part of this, is chill with you, have a good time, talk about whatever we want to talk about.
Yeah.
And yeah, these pre-screenings, I never thought I'd ever, because I've heard of pre-screenings, obviously. I just thought it was like people, like people that were part of like these big companies, or just like people doing it for this big company or something. So I never thought I'd be given the opportunity to go to pre-screenings and talk about this. But now that now that you're giving me the opportunity, I'm thankful and I'm glad.
Well, it's not a problem, man. Just keep bringing us the reviews, and it's not a problem. But I mean, from there, man, I mean, it really became from I stopped doing the reviews for a long time, and then COVID hit, and my thinking
that was horrible.
Really bad. And I mean, my thinking with that was, I feel like if there's anything I can offer to the world, it's my voice, my opinions on movies and shit, and maybe it'll be a distraction for some people, was always kind of my hope. And so I just started doing the Dom's Corner podcast. I grabbed a microphone and grabbed a really shitty camera and just started doing the podcast, man. And I figured out how to put them on Spotify, and I did that, and then I continued what we kind of started on this channel, but it was just me talking to a camera and a microphone. And I started.
That must have been lonely and boring.
You have no idea. But it was, the thing I kept telling myself is, it's not about me, it's about, hopefully other people that can connect to this stuff, and hopefully this can distract somebody from their bad day, in this terrible time that we were having. And so we started the Dom's Corner podcast when the pandemic started up, just me. And then I started having people on, and having guests, because it did get very lonely, as you said. And I started having guests, and we would talk and shoot the shit for a while and do fun shit. It was like, I had on Adam Leach, I had on Logan Lawson, and you guys know them. They've been on the channel a few times, I think, at this point. But Josh Richards started coming on. That was the other thing. That was a big turning point too, is because at the time, one of the guests I had on Mark Earhart and Ian Schick. And when Ian came on, Ian and I just decided, let's just, you and I do this for a long time. And so Ian Schick and I would run the Dom's Corner podcast, and we did that for a long time, quite a few episodes. And Ian and I reconnected after years of just not talking, and became really good friends. And then he started getting into Star Wars big time, and then Mandalorian season 2 had dropped, and me and my good friend Josh Richards started doing Mandalorian season 2 breakdowns of each of the episodes together. And that was fun, and so we started a segment called Dom Solo. That was what it was. And we started just breaking down the Mandalorian episodes. For season 2, well, Ian and I were doing Dom's Corner on the other side of it, and Ian and I heard about this great thing called Stereo, and we both hopped onto Stereo and started doing breakdowns of WandaVision and shit, and
No, and that's where we met. You were doing I remember this the day clearly. You were doing a WandaVision episode with Sammy, and
yeah,
I commented on the stereo, and you followed me and I followed you, and we kind of did some stereos, not just the two of us, but like with other people. I remember the stereo too, where I kind of told you, hey, I followed you and you followed me back. And you're like, oh really? I didn't know that. I was like, yeah, I was from one of your WandaVision episodes, and our friendship blew up from there. We started, now we've got the Star Wars Sundays. I did some guest appearances on this channel, and look at me now, I'm a regular on the channel. So
yeah. One of the other highlights from the Dom's Corner days too, when we were doing it, is we did kind of like we're doing now, Jose. We revisited, Adam Leach and I were revisiting all the Star Wars movies as well. On the Dom's Corner podcast back in the day, and Ian came on during the Force Awakens one, and that's why we kind of reconnected with him after so long, and because he had some opinions about it, so we brought him in for that, and then he just became a permanent member after that, and so he and I were doing shows together all the time, and then it became we were doing a WandaVision episode. I'll never forget, it was one of our very first. We were maybe doing the 3rd episode of WandaVision. We were breaking that down on stereo, and I just remember, because one of the things that was a highlight of that is everybody coming in with their fan theories, kind of blowing our minds. But there was one person who would come in with comments that would say a lot of things that to me made a lot of sense, and like were very knowledgeable and had very educated answers. And that person was Sammy Ramirez, and I contacted Sammy and asked if she wanted to go live sometime. We did, and it went extremely well. I felt the spark of energy, and
that was one of the episodes that I think it was y'all's first episode. That's the
maybe
one that I think because I think what I did was I left like a really interesting theory that you liked as well, and so that's where you dropped me a follow. I was like, okay, yeah, let me follow this guy back, and
yeah, it must have been that. Yeah, and so, the more Sammy and I did it, Cisco was a frequent visitor and constantly came in.
You know what I think I remember too is I had done an episode. I had done like a live stereo with him. I think before. I don't know if he had already known him at this time, but I do remember doing some stereo lives with him. When I first downloaded the app, I just literally just went live randomly. I was talking to this guy, and he happened to be friends with Cisco. I think Cisco was listening in, and he followed me. I followed him back, and we did some lives together with that other guy as well. And so we kind of like knew each other, like we had followed each other then, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's really amazing how you meet some of these people and how we connect and stuff. It's really cool. It's been an experience.
That's what I'm like, because this came out obviously during lockdown, COVID lockdown, and I'm glad that this app came about. When it did, because I wouldn't have made friends with you, with you guys if it hadn't come around. So
yeah,
hold tight stereo.
Ian and I were on, dude. Like we were building followers like crazy back then, and Sammy, finally I asked her if she wanted to join the show that we had, Dom's Corner, and she said yeah, definitely, because our live went really well, so she definitely wanted to join in. And at that time, we all had shitty cameras, and shitty mics and all that kind of stuff, and but it was what it was, and it was me, Ian, and Sammy that would do the show. We brought Jareth Love back into the fold for a little bit, and Adam would come on, and Mark would come on, and we just all had fun doing that. And but eventually, Ian, a lot of people probably know the story. Ian fucked up, said something really stupid, and I would love to bring Ian back on now that years have gone by, and I think he can, he understands what he did. That got a lot of backlash, and so I, unfortunately, we mutually understood that he had to leave, which was unfortunate. But then it was really cool because me, Adam, and Sammy all like much like we did with the Star Wars movies on Dom's Corner. We all did breakdowns of the Harry Potter movies together because we were all big fans of that, and we went through all those, and then it was like once Harry Potter was done, Cisco and I were kind of already in communication once we were doing Harry Potter, and I was wanting him to replace Ian. Because I loved what he would come in with on stereo, and Cisco and I had already done one live together on stereo, so we'd done a podcast together, and then the more we were doing that and getting connected, and it's great, man, because he and I are great friends still to this day. Sammy and I are great friends still to this day, and I've met a lot of cool people that way. For me, it's so Cisco and I, we did a stereo together, and or he invited me to. It was so funny. I remember this night because I was drinking quite a bit, and I wanted to go talk about movies just randomly. So I hopped on stereo by myself, and Cisco ended up inviting me to one of his lives, and it was like a big party, and you were in there, Jose. And then
I do remember that.
We kind of reconnected that way, and you reminded me that you and I had talked once, and I was like, oh shit, I do follow him. So I didn't remember you, no offense, it was so long ago, but it was cool that we kind of reconnected that way. I didn't know that you had a connection to Cisco or anything at the time, but
yeah, we had. So I think the dude's name was Pedro. It was the first dude I ever talked to live on stereo.
Okay.
I literally just hit start live, and he was the first person that accepted, and we just kind of talked for like an hour and a half, I think, and then that's when Cisco followed me, and I did a live, I think the next day or the day after, with him and Pedro. We kind of just talked about movies and stuff, whatever we wanted to talk about. And I did a couple of other lives with Cisco and other people as well. So that was a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
And when Cisco when he was live with you and he invited me, I was like, oh yeah, let me jump on and see what's up. And then I saw you were on there too. I was like, oh, I remember this guy. I commented on his WandaVision episode, and he followed me. I followed him back. Let's see if he remembers.
Yeah, no, I didn't, but I was glad I got to talk to you because I was like, this guy's really cool. You and I got on.
I guess really, I owe it all to Cisco. If he didn't invite me to that live, we wouldn't have talked again.
Yeah, I was like, I like this guy. He laughs at my jokes. That's good enough for me. I think he's a fun dude. So but that's how we kind of got it on, and then at that point in time, we were actually on a break.
I was just saying, I also, I didn't have any, what I have right now, the webcam, microphone, all this stuff. I didn't have any of that. So I can really I was on the channel, but it was with my MacBook camera. So it wasn't great quality, and I didn't have a microphone. So the audio quality wasn't great. But then when Dom told me that, I'll probably, be a guest a little more often, and hopefully be regular soon, that's when I decided to step it up and buy everything that I have now. And
so, at that point when we were doing that group live, this channel was on a hiatus, and so that's the whole reason I jumped onto stereo that day, was because I missed talking about movies, because we were on a hiatus because we were transitioning from Dom's Corner to the Anorak Entertainment podcast. We'd already had Cisco on a few times, and it went really well. And so we were like, let's just make this into a new thing for us. You know what I mean? Kind of like what we're doing now. And hopefully this is the permanent change. I feel like the difference is what we're doing now is going to be very fluid with a lot of people. So it doesn't matter who we bring into the fold. I think everybody could fit into it. So for that period of time, I was just kind of like, I missed kind of talking to people about movies. So I was kind of craving it. And that's why I hopped on stereo. And luckily, you and I connected that way, and then we went into the Anorak Entertainment podcast, and it was me, Sammy, and Cisco going strong on this for however many episodes.
I remember too that when you all started that, I remember subscribing to the channel and watching some of those episodes. I was like, oh yeah, this is what I want to do. This is really cool, and these are the people that I'd like to talk to about movies and stuff like that. I remember just every day, just every single time there, I'd look at my subscription feed and I saw a video from your channel, I'd always just sit there and watch you guys talk, and just always have my own thoughts about the stuff too that you guys were saying, and wanting to put in my own input. So
well, thanks for that. So we were doing that for a long time, and doing this for as long as we did, I guess, and just together, it was like I finally got to the point where I was like, we need the fourth person in the fold. And that's when I brought on Jose. Jose and I thought he would be a really good fourth to go along with Sammy and Cisco. And
you did at first tell me that you wanted to get a girl. there for Sammy first originally. I remember you did tell me that.
I did. And Sammy wanted it too. So that was something that we both mutually decided. And I still think I still think women bring a lot to the table, and I think that that's
100%,
something
yeah.
I want to bring still to what we're doing. But knowing that it's going to be two men, I think that movie Mornings is going to be perfect for that. And like
And bro down.
and bro down, yes, exactly. So yeah, and so that's kind of how it all came to be. And man, it's been a journey. Let me tell you, dude, it's been a journey working here,
Yeah, it's
working
just
up to this point. And Sammy, left for her own reasons. I mean, Cisco left first for his own reasons. It was kind of unfortunate he had to leave right when Jose was coming into the fold. I don't think I ever told you this, Jose, but when I told him that you were going to be kind of his replacement, I guess after that, one of the things he told me is that's who I would have picked, so I hope you take that as, an honor. He was really happy to hear that you were taking his spot. So,
that's that honestly makes me feel great, and I that just goes to show how great of a guy he is, and I'm
he's
glad
really
that we're
great guy.
friends.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're I'm glad I got to meet him and become friends with him and stuff. Is great. I miss him a lot too.
Yeah, me
and
too,
Sammy
man.
as well. Like that is, and it honestly like fills my heart with warmth that he said that he would have picked me to replace him.
Yeah.
I'm here to do that, Cisco. You'll be remembered forever, and
Yeah.
and we miss you, man.
Yeah. I know Sammy was very excited to have you as well, and that was kind of what that's kind of where we were at. And then Sammy, unfortunately recently got some opportunities that came up in her life where that, has caused her to unfortunately remove herself from our situation here. But it's sad. It's always sad to lose people, but if you can't tell from the story, it's something I've been through many times doing this. And it's just,
Yeah.
I think it just kind of comes with the territory, at this point. And I've always pushed through, but I know that with Jose, I have a very dedicated partner here, and I'm excited to work with him moving forward and moving into, I think, what's going to end up being the best stuff that this channel has ever seen. And I'm excited about that, man. And
I've said it, I've said it once and I'll say it again. I'm here for all of it, man. I don't plan on going anywhere. This is exactly what I want to do with my life, with for my career. And I'm glad that it's with you, man. I'm super excited for what we do with this channel, man. I'm here for it.
But it's not all about us. It's about you guys out there too,
exactly.
And you guys need to do some work too if you want to see the best stuff continue to come. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button and all that, and like the videos.
Share it with your friends.
Tell people, please. Word of mouth is actually such a big deal, and people don't realize it. But that's actually it's one of the most important things that we can get from the audience is word of mouth and getting this out there. And if you guys want to see more content, put in the footwork. I'm not trying to, say that shittily, but put in the footwork. And like, honestly, because we're going to keep putting in the footwork, and we're never going to stop trying, and we're never going to stop being dedicated to you guys. And the only thing we ask in return is just tell people. Just tell people. Subscribe, like, and tell people. That's it. And that's all we ask from you guys. Please, because it is going to mean the difference between being stagnant with the content or advancing the content. That's going to mean the big difference. So at the end of the day, we'll keep trying to make the content that you guys want to see. Just keep with us and subscribe and do all that. But yes, again, it's a sad day, but it's a sad day for a new beginning, and I'm excited for that. And Jose and I are kind of starting from scratch in a way, and
they all walked so that we could run.
100%. Yeah, we're going back to the drawing board here, Jose and I. That's what we're doing, and I'm excited to continue my journey through podcasting and running this channel to the best of my ability. Being the best leader that I can, and just hopefully making a lot more memories out of it. That's what
I'm gonna do everything that I can in my power to keep upgrading my system here so that I can give you guys the best quality possible. I'm kind of tired of money, but I'm gonna just keep going at it and do the best that I can to bring you guys the best of me and the best quality of me that I can possibly give, because that's what I want for you guys, is to get the best of me, because ultimately that's if it brings you guys happiness, it brings me happiness, because this is about you guys, not just me, but you guys ultimately. So
100%, guys, and for those of you who have been there since the beginning, since Anorak's on air, God bless you.
I salute you.
You.
I salute you guys.
God bless you, because I know that some of those shows were rough to watch, but hopefully we've improved it by a long shot, and you know, we're here to stay, you know, in one form or another. You know, we are here to stay.
We ain't going anywhere, guys.
Yeah. We're here to stay, even if it's in a new format and a new way. So I'm excited about this.
Which I feel this new format is going to be a lot better for this channel, honestly.
Yeah. Look at this as a growing opportunity for all of us, you know. And stick with us and enjoy movie mornings. That's the best thing I could say at this point. Just enjoy it. When it comes, put it on, enjoy it, let us know what you think. And hopefully it's a lot of fun, and I can't wait. So Jose, I'll let you close this out too.
Well, you know, we've said it, I'll say it again. Super excited for this journey with Dom, this new fresh clean slate that we're wanting to bring to this channel. You know, for us to grow, we need you guys to spread this out to people you know, have them spread it to people they know, and just keep growing this channel so we can bring the best content you guys will love so much, and that we'll love to talk about, and just, you know, enjoy it with us, enjoy this ride with us, because I promise you guys are going to enjoy it a lot.
Hell yeah. So definitely want to thank everybody for joining. And I'm excited to take the new risks, and I think that's one of the most exciting things, is when you know it's a risk, and to go into something new. And thank you guys for the last time on this show for joining. And it's been a ride. It's been amazing. And I'm looking forward to the future. So for the last time here on the Anorak Entertainment Podcast, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave feedback in the comment section, share this with your friends, hit the bell for notifications, leave your feedback in the comment section. I think I might have already said that one. Who knows?
Yeah.
Fuck it. Here we are. What's a show without a goof, right? Yeah, but Jose, where can people find you?
It's on the screen there. Type 1 Latino all together, all lowercase, on all socials and on stereo. Make sure you follow both of us there, because we're doing Star Wars Sundays. We have Phantom Menace this Sunday, so I'm looking.
Oh yeah,
I'm looking forward, but at the same time, not looking forward to that.
Yeah, so. I hear you. Should be interesting. We're gonna get very drunk when we watch that.
I'm definitely gonna have to be. I'm gonna have to be very drunk for that one.
Very drunk. Yeah, should be interesting. Anyway, guys, thank you. I've been Dom Martino once again. Please follow me on Twitter at Dom_Martino_ on Instagram, Dom_Martino_ official, and then Anorak's official on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow the channel. We do have a merch link, which we're going to update that merch once we get the new shows off the ground. Merch.streamelements.com/Anorak, streamelements.com/Anorak/tip. Go onto the merch link though, and pay tribute to the shows that we have had, and you know, carry on their legacy.
Get them now, because once they're gone, they're gone.
They're going to be gone. Yes,
you'll be one of those limited people that have shirts that, you know, aren't being sold anymore. You'll be one of those special people out there.
100%. Let me say this too before we go. The show is on Spotify. We will be all the new shows will stay. The old shows will stay on Spotify. We're just going to add the new shows on top of that onto the podcast feed. So don't worry, you'll still get them at the same place. I probably should have mentioned that earlier. But yeah, guys, anyway, thank you so much for joining, and it's been an honor and a blessing to bring these shows to you every single time. And it's thank you so much. I can't thank the audience members enough. And thank you to everybody who's followed me on this journey up until this point. Jareth Love, Blake Ross, Josh Richards, Mark Earhart, Adam Leach, Logan Lawson, Sammy Ramirez, Cisco Scartozzi. That's a hard one to say. Jose Espinel. I thank everybody. Ian Schick. Seriously, you guys have changed my life in ways that you'll never know. And I hope to see all those people on the channel again at some point. Yeah, and I don't think that's the end for them either. So thank you guys again.
I'll say you've definitely changed my life in ways you probably wouldn't know either. I mean, I probably told you, but this whole, you know, making me regular in this channel and just getting to know you better has definitely changed my life.
Well, thank you, man. And you've changed my life as well. So yeah, we're gonna get going, and thank you guys so much again, and everybody have a good night. Later.